In a world where hopium and common sense collide, starring the CryptoKeeper and BlockchainCrusader. Welcome to Debate Crypto. It is Magic Money Monday. Good evening, Crypto fam. I hope everyone is doing well. Most importantly, besides the following, Miguel, the man, the myth, the legend. How are you feeling tonight? You doing well?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. So if you are following on, if you're following along from TikTok, make sure you guys come on over to Debate Crypto on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed. Just as a reminder, we're giving away $500 2 days before Christmas. So come on over. Make sure you're subscribed. We will be answering questions. If you want questions answered, just letting you guys know, come on over to Debate Crypto on YouTube. If you're in YouTube already, smash up the likes. That seems to be the hardest thing to get people to do. So we'd appreciate if you X out of the live chat. It takes 2 seconds, smash the like. You can come right back in. So what is up, family? I hope everyone is well. Miguel, what is on the podium this evening?
60K bottom for Bitcoin, baby. Why? How? What Fugazi is going to lead us there, right? And and we got the senators in the United States trying to fix the crypto tax laws that were passed in the infrastructure bill. So that's good news, and we're going to deep dive into that.
All right. Fantastic, dude. I'm looking forward to it. Well, let's start off with an overview of the crypto markets. I just shared my screen. So the total cryptocurrency market right now is down 5.66%. I'm sure that's a huge surprise to everybody, right? Nobody noticed that their whole portfolio was down, right? No, nobody would never.
That's it. It's over, guys. It's time to sell. Pack your bags. It's over.
We actually came on live to tell you guys that it's over. The bull market is over. And if you believe the sentence that I just said, don't, because I'm totally being sarcastic. No, we are down 5%, 5.66, actually almost 6%. But ultimately, guys, if you got into the game a little later and you're trying to make some nice, some nice gains in the meantime, in the interim, guys, down 6%. What's that? Opportunity, right?
I mean, look at that! Look at that husky right there. That looks like a good investment right now.
So Bitcoin's down 5.79%, ETH is down 6.94%, Binance Coin down 5.18%, Solana down 4.9%, Cardano almost 5%, XRP down 6%, Polkadot almost 10%. Guys, the whole market's down. What else can you really say besides the market is down? Hey,
I think XRP is performing better as a stable coin than USDT.
Listen, we were talking about IOTA earlier, guys, and somebody in the comments, so if you're listening and you were this person, it was very funny. Somebody said, heck yeah, I've got a ton of IOTA. It's been a great stable coin over the years for me, which, in on the joke, it's definitely not a stable coin. It's just been hanging around, not doing its thing. But yeah, guys, down almost 6%. Miguel, I don't know if you would disagree, agree, whatever. I look at this as a short-term correction, kind of a temperature check, seeing where people are at. But people that are new to the space see corrections like this, and immediately I'm getting messages like, "Is it over, CryptoKeeper? Like, what's going on?" And I'm like, "No, This is just part of investing, right?" So just wanted to throw that out there and start. So let's get into it directly. So we've got. Oh, I got to share my other screen. It's my bad here. Hold on, I gotta change the screen share here. My apologies. Do not beat me up, please. Okay, so here we go. Did Bitcoin just print a massive bearish pattern? Crypto analyst Benjamin Cohen maps next step for BTC. Side note, I think Benjamin Cohen is fantastic. The analytics and the way that he analyzes things are definitely different than a lot of other people on YouTube, and I definitely like him. He's incredibly smart. So, crypto analyst Benjamin Cohen is looking at the possibility that Bitcoin just formed a massive double top, which is a bearish pattern that often signals the beginning of a downtrend. In a new strategy session, Cohen says that rather than a double top pattern, the king crypto, which is Bitcoin, appears to be turning a previously hard resistance level into support. this is where it gets interesting, guys. Check this out. He says, I don't consider it to be a double top. What I would say is that we are very likely building out macro level support. What I mean by that is if we look at, say, the weekly time frame, what you'll notice is that this area here, $60,000, that we previously held as resistance earlier this year, that could be held as as that area that we held as resistance for months is now becoming support. That's what I see. Cohen also says that with all the volume, and this is what I think is interesting, with all the volume around $60,000 range, it may end up being the level where the next bear market bottoms out when it comes around. Miguel, I got to say, I personally, I'd be lying to you if I said that I didn't want Bitcoin to go lower than that on this next go round, right? Only because I don't see it going quite as high as you see it going. But
Yeah.
I'm interested. I'm interested to hear your take. $60,000. If 60 was the bottom, if that ends up flipping into the bottom, I think we need to go really high for that to be the bottom. What's your take on that?
Yeah, that would probably lead us to have a close to 200, maybe a little bit higher than 200K Bitcoin at that price point for a, if we're expecting an 80 something percent retracement, right?
Yeah.
Correct me on my math there because I know you got that Rain Man math. Um, so it'd be somewhere near north, a little north of 200K, correct?
So you would be, if it went down to 60,
Went down to 60 with an 80% retracement.
with an 80, 60, yeah, it would literally be, it would be down, it would be 200, it would be 200K. Yep.
200K exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so there you have it, right? That would be wild. That would be very wild,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm hoping for. That's where I kind of agree with CVO. And there's a little bit of bias in there. I'm a big Bitcoin bull, so I never want to short my hopes for how high it can go.
Right.
So I do have some biases there for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But if that were to be true, right, I honestly do agree with his point in the fact of it becoming support. Maybe I don't know about the next bottom of the market, but I do agree that the fact that we've crossed 60, we've had multiple retracements, and we're staying above 60 for multiple weeks on end,
Yeah.
and we've been closing every weekly candle at new all-time highs. Like not new all-time high of price point, but a new all-time high on the weekly candle close.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that is showing that we are growing tons of support. There's a lot of buy up pressure to stay above 60K. And it is a very good thing for Bitcoin. Same thing happened when we were at 30K, right? We were ranging between 30, 35, 28, 30, 35, 30, 35. We were there for multiple weeks, almost like a couple of months. And then we saw a huge blast off, right? We're kind of seeing the same thing here in the 60s. We've been here for a couple of weeks now, ranging in the 60s, ranging in the 60s. It's only a matter of time, in my opinion, where we have a blast off, just how we did from 30K and start moving, having those 10K candles.
Yeah, there's a lot of support there, and I just want to throw this out there. When I'm not the like super TA guy. I believe in TA. I believe that it's a good tool for my tool belt. But one of the things I am a true believer on, as it relates to support and resistance, on the support side of things, when you have massive amounts of an asset being bought up around the same area, those people are not wanting to go into it means they believe in that price point as being a good accumulation zone, and they are not looking for losses from that point. So I think it's really interesting. 60K is higher than I thought we would be. If he is correct, I thought we were going to go a decent amount lower than that. I'm actually going to so Miguel, I just shared my screen again. He said, I do think there's a decent chance in the future that the current prices could be around the next bear market bottom. It could be lower than we are today. It could be a little bit higher. But I would say around the current prices could be the next bear market bottom. I don't think Bitcoin is going to 20,000. I don't think it's going to 30,000. And I would agree with him. Miguel, have been thinking along the lines of it going down to around 40,000 is kind of what I was thinking, we were headed. If it only goes to 60, well, I'm going to hope and pray that the percentages that we're planning on actually work out that way. I really wouldn't like to see it go to 100 and then only back down to 60, right? Like long term, sure, that feels great, but the opportunity that I believe that we're getting ready to have come upon us is the opportunity to take a lot of profits, which we would be, right? Even at 100, like a lot, but whatever, a lot of profits. And then that bear market bottom, I want a big spread there. I do. I want one more opportunity, especially with ETH, but I want one more opportunity to buy at some of those stupid low prices, as I call them. And I'll tell you what, we thought and this is totally an opinion, so take this for what it's worth, but we thought that we were already going to be blasting off. I think that it's very interesting that we are consolidating right now. I think that ultimately it speaks for the health of the market overall, and the fact that a lot of these big whales are accumulating at 60. I think it says, hey, Bitcoin is as strong as ever, and we're going to make healthy moves forward. I still think we'll end up with a crazy blow off top. But if we make smaller, healthier moves as we move forward, I don't think we're going to see as big of a correction into the bear market, if that indeed is what we continue to do.
Yeah, to that point, right before I get to what I'm saying, guys, drop it in the chat. What is it that you think will be the price bottom for Bitcoin in the next
Yeah.
bear market? Want to see that in the chat, guys. So while you guys are doing that, what I found very interesting about what he was saying and the psychology behind this article, and what you said was we've been consolidating, right? We didn't expect this consolidation at this price point, at this time frame right now, so late in the game. And that speaks a lot to the fact that people are expecting blast off moments, and instead we're getting consolidation and these big red days like we are today. Not that it's a huge red day, but 5% down, everything's red. People are wondering what's going on. And the article said, do you think it's a double top, right? They were talking about the double top theory, instilling fear and doubt into people, thinking, wait a minute, maybe this is it. Maybe Bitcoin doesn't have enough fuel to go above to new all-time highs, and it tapped out at 67K again, and we're coming back down, and this is it, and makes people start getting doubtful. Because when people start getting doubtful about what's going to happen, and then out of nowhere we have a blast off, you have an excess amount of FOMO, right? Versus if you were already expecting, oh, into November, we're going to go into November with good price movement, and you see it, you're like, all right, everything's going according to plan. I don't need to buy up anymore right now. We're good. This is all part of the plan. But when you start getting scared, you start thinking this is the bottom, this is the top, and we're going to come down. And then you see a gigantic explosion. Oh man, here comes the blast off. I need to get more now because I'm going to miss it. This is the opportunity, and that's what I think they're going for. I think they're going for that. And
Confusion.
CVO has mentioned it. Yeah, confusion, right? Confusion, fear, don't know what's going to happen. We were expecting this, but this is happening. We're expecting blast off November, right? And what happened? It's been slow November. It's been sideways consolidation, not really going anywhere. And it's got people confused, and it's got people putting articles out there talking about double tops.
Yeah. My question becomes, at the point that we're really, if we do continue to just kind of make more of that slow crawl, every day that we don't have a blast off, Miguel, I got to tell you, is one day closer to me stating the idea that we might be moving into something totally different. We might be moving into a lengthening cycle. This is not me being
Super
impatient.
cycle?
No, a lengthening cycle. Lengthening.
Super cycle.
No, not super, but ultimately,
Cycle.
I see at some point, and we talked about this yesterday, Miguel. At some point, guys, check it out. Crypto fam, listen to me here. At some point, the same thing is not going to continue to happen. At some point, things are going to change. And let me tell you the one reason why. Because if it continues to be overall in the macro level predictable, people, that means you and I, right, the retail trader will be able to capitalize off that. There is going to be a point at which you will have a few huge shakeouts, a few huge shakeouts and fakeouts, at which we will then it will blast off and overall not coming back. We're going to get priced out of the market. And what you have is what you have, and it's part of the reason why when we talk about taking profits that it's scary. It's not just scary because we're greedy. It's scary because it makes you wonder, is now going to be the time at which it doesn't come back, right? I don't believe that is now, but at some point that absolutely is going to happen.
Yeah, and the problem that people don't understand is if this is your first cycle, you're now worried about it, right? You're like, what? Why is it so scary to take your profits, right? Just take your profits, get out, and then wait for it to come back. Well, it's because most people buying in this cycle bought at way higher price points than we
Yeah.
did, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lot to lose if we don't time this right, and we actually sell early and then buy back up late, and if things come right back up, we're going to be buying at extremely high price points, because if 60K is the bottom, that is in a big difference.
That's
And
going to feel. Ooh.
and you mentioned it, right? Getting priced out. We're getting priced out already. If 60K is the bottom for the next market, yeah, we've been in the markets, we're going to have enough profits to buy back in. But even then, the majority of people will not be buying a 60K Bitcoin, right? With $15,000, you can't even get a quarter of a Bitcoin. You'll be getting like a 15th of a Bitcoin or something at best. It's you get terrible percent of Bitcoin, and you're gonna be getting crumbs, and it's not gonna make you then if you buy a 60K and you only put 10K in, you have to wait for that 60K to hit 120K for you to get $10,000 of profit out. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. It does make a lot of sense if you come from a stock market perspective, right?
Oh yeah.
You're doubling your money. It doesn't happen that often or that quick in the stock market, but in the crypto game, you're kind of late. You're not really making the gains that you could have been making, the life-changing money you could have been making. And that's a big thing that I'm worried about. I feel like we're gonna get priced out. Like you were saying, at one point it will be different. And I don't want to be left holding an empty bag waiting to buy cheaper Bitcoin, and I never get to buy it back cheap.
Yeah, I try not to, I try not to think about it too much because it'll keep me from sleeping well at night, right? At the end of the day, I just am a true believer that something is going to push the market back down. Zombie commented in the chat that every market has been scary, and I don't disagree, right? There's always points at which you question yourself. As much and as well as you can know these markets, you will at some point question yourself. Now, when I first got in, I would question myself all the time. Now, even with some huge moves, I won't question myself, but huge moves at about a time where at least I could understand it. If there was like a huge move right now, I'd have a hard time with that. I'd be lying if I said any different. Not because I don't believe long term, but because I'm not expecting a huge move. And I'm saying a huge move to the downside right now. We're not expecting anything like a huge move to the downside right now. And I think the scary thing is these institutions know how to play this game.
Yep.
And so we shall see.
Yeah, like I told you on the phone earlier before we got on, right? It's like we were talking about whether it was 100K was going to be the top, or it's going to go higher, this and that. And I said, this fear, because what was the article we saw? We saw something about saying 80K by January. We saw an article saying that 80K by January is expected by some expert traders there, yada, 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 whatever. And then you're like, wait, maybe 100K isn't the top, or maybe 100K is barely possible, and we'll just be able to scratch, the bottom surface of 100K. And then I told you, I was like, when I feel that fear creeping in the back of my mind of, oh man, maybe it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That's when I know it's going to happen, because when I think it's not going to happen, that's when things blast off. And that's what they want us to be. And they want us to have that mentality of it's not going to happen. And then they make it happen. And you're like, oh man, I missed out. You FOMO in, you buy 100K Bitcoin thinking it's going to go to, 300K. And then you get, left holding the bag.
Yeah, no doubt. So let's Let's click over to this next article. Check this out. So, senators seek to amend Bitcoin reporting changes in the infrastructure bill. A bipartisan team of U.S. senators is introducing a bill to restrict tax reporting rules present in the infrastructure bill, which is set to become law today. The infrastructure bill's text extends cash-focused section 6050I to contemplate cryptocurrency transactions. The new bill includes a provision that would make it retroactive to the infrastructure bill's signing, Bloomberg reported. U.S. Senators Ron Wyden, chairman of the Senate Finance Committee, and Cynthia Lummis are introducing a bill to amend tax reporting requirements in the infrastructure legislation set to become law on November 15th, Bloomberg reported. The new bill, the text of which obtained by Bloomberg News, seeks to override a provision in the infrastructure legislation that cryptocurrency investors say is overly broad and would stifle growth of digital currencies, per the report. In September, a tax change introduced in the infrastructure bill would require U.S. persons receiving over $10,000 in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to report the sender's personal information on the IRS, extending the provisions of Section 6050 that currently only apply to cash transactions. Miguel, this if this doesn't get amended, okay, I want to explain this for everybody. So what this is basically saying is that if I hand Miguel $10,000 in cash, any transaction, if you've ever went into the bank and tried to put in $10,000 in cash or more, you have to fill out this form, right? I've done it before. You fill it out. You've got to tell them where it's coming from. Why do you have this much cash? Blase, blase, blah, right? Well, ultimately, what they're trying to say is if Miguel sends me $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, I am responsible, me am responsible for his information to report to the IRS. So Miguel sends me 10K in Bitcoin and I have to report to the IRS. Who do you think is going to give up their social security number, among other things, which is what you need, or your EIN, right? Your employer identification number, to someone that they are just sending a transaction to? I realize that it sounds like, oh my gosh, $10,000. Well, yeah, that's a big amount. I could really Listen, there's been a lot of people in cryptocurrency, right? Myself, Miguel included, to where is $10,000 still $10,000? Yes, absolutely it is. But the transactions, though they might be worth some massive amount now, are less of a pain point for people that have been in this for a while. And I got news for you. Miguel and I are business partners. I wouldn't even ask for his social security number, right? I know his credit's not going to buy me anything. You know what I mean? And I'm no. So I would never even ask that, right? I wouldn't expect him to ask me either, even though we trust each other. So the idea that some random person's like, oh yeah, I sent you 10. Oh, yep, you're right. Here's my social security number. Get the heck out of here. I mean, do you agree, Miguel?
Yeah, I completely agree. That's not going to happen, right? That's not going to happen at all. Nobody's going to do that. And the biggest thing is DeFi, right? Where you can't get that information. There's no way that you can even ask anybody. How are you going to ask the protocol, right? You don't know where that money is coming from. Who is it coming from directly? You put your money on there and you're making, X, Y, and Z. How are you gonna get the KYC of people that you've never even met, you never even talked to, you don't even know who they are, because you're all interacting with a protocol that's just paying out, X amount of dollars, and you happen to make over $10,000.
Yeah. I mean, part of the whole thing with DeFi is the ability to take the banks out, to take that middleman out. Well, now we can effectively do it. And then they say, wait a minute. We need to get back in between there. We need to make sure that we get what's coming to us, blase, blase, blah. Something needs to change. They've got to listen, even if they're going to make sure that to get their greasy little fingers in there, they've got to change the way that this is structured, because it doesn't work right now.
Yeah, and that's what they were trying to do, right? If they don't get this fixed, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to push people out of DeFi, and then these laws aren't going to apply to institutions and banks. They're going to be able to use DeFi protocols and use whatever, because they don't need to worry about KYC laws or X and Y and Z, because they're always and the exception to the rule, and they're going to be playing with your money on these protocols, making money, and then saying, well, it's just the way it is. And it goes back to, we lose all the power that crypto has given us because we're complying, or we're allowing these laws to occur.
It stifles innovation, and it also, at the same time, while stifling innovation, it makes people act it makes people sidestep, right? It makes people do a $9,600 transaction and a $500 transaction because it puts it just over 10. But hey, listen, I followed your rules, right? I did not do over $10,000, and it makes people just take side steps, right? I literally had a person at the bank one time. I had a customer give me a bunch of cash, and I went in not really thinking about it, like, okay, boom, put it in, whatever. And the teller was like, hey, that's over $10,000, right? And I was like, yeah, it is. And he was like, just remember, you have to fill out a form. And he just kind of looked at me. Listen, the money wasn't dirty, but he was letting me know, right? Hey, you got to fill out a bunch of freaking paperwork to do that. Ultimately, what did I do? Right? The last time, the time that happened,
Give me
I didn't put
500.
it.
Give me $500 back. Now it's
I literally didn't put.
9,500.
I didn't want to fill out the freaking form. It wasn't that I was worried about putting it in or that it was going to be a problem or anything. I just didn't want to fill out the freaking form and spend the time doing it. So what did I do? Oh yeah, I actually don't have over $10,000 here. Let me take this back. So yeah, I think that it ultimately it's the same type of idea where we start regulating. At some point, we're going to regulate people out of the United States, and they're going to be taking their money abroad. They're going to be spending and holding abroad. People already use some tax havens outside of the U.S. For some tax advantages. That why are we going to try to push money outside of the United States that we obviously freaking need in the United States with the amount of debt that we currently have?
Yeah, and with how easy crypto is to transport, right? Unlike now, where you have a bunch of money in your bank, if you're gonna make a huge transfer, right, there's a bunch of investigation, a bunch of whatever, all this stuff. If you have a big wallet in crypto, you just send it to another digital wallet in an overseas exchange or whatever, and that's it. There's no middleman there telling you, hey, you can't do that. Hey, let's stop that from happening. So it's even easier for people to flee with their crypto than it is with fiat. So if you're trying to make these stringent laws that mess up the innovation that's happening, they're just going to leave even faster than businesses that deal with fiat.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. When it comes to taxes, so you get paid. Let's say you get a paycheck, that's been taxed. Then you go in to buy a vehicle with already taxed money. They then charge you sales tax on the vehicle. So you've had taxed money. Now you're paying for something that you're getting taxed on. And I've used this example before, but then on the way out of the dealership, you got to stop and grab gas. Oh, wait a minute. There's tax on the gas. Now, how many different times you grab some food while you're in there? Well, the food is taxed. How many different times can we tax the same freaking money? It is downright wrong. I absolutely hate it. And I think that this infrastructure bill was thrown together really fast. And I think it was thrown together that way on purpose. I think that ultimately it was intended to, ruffle some feathers, put a little damper on and make people worried about being able to do these crypto transactions. The fact is, the government's not ready for what crypto has brought to the table, right? They're not sitting, we're sitting at the table ready to eat, right? The government is not, right? I don't even know if they have their fork or a spoon in their hand, right? Or a plate in their hand ready to walk up to the table. It seems to me like they're looking around, figuring out where they can get a plate, where they can get a fork. How can they get into this when we're ready to eat? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's super freaking frustrating. Do we have any? So guys, smash up the likes. If you have not subscribed to us on Debate Crypto, we are giving away $500 just as a reminder, 2 days before Christmas. If you are subscribed to Debate Crypto, we're giving away $500. Somebody is going to win that. Somebody that is following us right now. And actually, I'm really excited to give that away. I know Miguel is as well. We're excited to give that one.
That's going to be awesome.
yeah, one of our followers, and just to, to be a cool freaking Christmas present. You know what I mean?
Yep, exactly. Everybody can use $500, and whether it's for Christmas gifts, just like a little relief, save haven money, or maybe you'll sprinkle into some crazy altcoins right before altcoin season blasts off.
Yeah.
So
So let me ask you this, Miguel, before we kind of wrap things up this evening. Do you have, and this is just something totally different coming off the top of my head, do you have any what you feel like is good knowledge or something for the new person to remember if they're coming into crypto right now or just recently got in? Do you have anything in particular that you would tell that person?
well, yeah, I would tell them to use this moment to educate yourself. Don't FOMO. Don't like, oh man, I got in, prices are high, things are going to skyrocket in December. I need to buy 50 different assets and spread myself thin and try to
Yeah.
track all these things. Don't do that, right? Learn, educate yourself, get a fundamental understanding of what crypto is, what is the technology behind these crypto projects. If you don't get in this run, it's okay. You'll have time. You don't want to rush into something blindly, not knowing what you're doing. So if you're, I would say heavily get educated. It's okay to miss out on the top of the bull run, right? Because it's about a learning experience. The bear market is where the real money is made. So even though you might not be able to hit that top price targets right now, you'll save your capital. You'll save yourself from possibly losing a lot of money or getting your money tied up in bags for extended periods of time when you could be using that capital to dollar cost average at low prices with already a fundamental level of education in the crypto space in the next 6 to 7 months, and then get ready for the next bull market.
Yeah, one more. That's great. That's great information, Miguel. I totally agree with all of that. The other thing that I do want to throw out there, guys, there is a lot of people that are out to do wrong by you, right? And I had somebody actually on Sunday we have debatecrypto.academy, which is our academy where we do private seminars every week and have a private Facebook group and all that. I had somebody in the group and they said, yeah, Nick, thank you very much for the recommendation on that wallet and this, that, and the third. I loaded it up and I started like for a second, like, wait a minute. Whoa. What wallet? Right. And it just absolutely infuriated me. People are using my name. People are using Blockchain Crusader's name. You guys need to understand something. Miguel and I are both using one account, right? The one account that we have on TikTok is literally I've got a little bit over 40,000 subscribers. Miguel's got right about 10. If you see something different than that, right, it's not us, right? So I just want to throw that out there. And what I would say, as part of piggybacking on what Miguel said, the education portion of this is crucial because it is not hard to make what I would call a rookie mistake in the crypto space on the front end, not even because you're being greedy, but just because you don't understand what's happening. And something might make sense to you that for me would be like red, like flashing lights saying run, right? And so that's why on the front end, you have got to get yourself educated. Please. And if you ever do have a question about something, and this is something that Miguel and I are both really good about, you can email us, right? debatecrypto@gmail.com. Or you can email me directly, _CryptoKeeper@yahoo.com. But just email us at debatecrypto@gmail.com. We will respond to you. Please. We are not going to message you on WhatsApp or try to get you to invest your money through us or anything like that. We're not financial advisors. We're not going to give you financial advice.
And we don't have WhatsApp, guys. If you guys are on TikTok, we don't have WhatsApp. Any comment saying, hey, let me contact me through WhatsApp, we're not on WhatsApp. We're on TikTok with the only accounts that we have now. We are on Twitter with the only accounts we have, and we're on YouTube. That is it. And Instagram. But and we're not going to contact you telling us to contact us. That's never going to happen. The only way you get direct contact with us is at debatecrypto@gmail. Or if you sign up to the academy, then you get direct access to us inside of the academy space, right? Inside of our website, inside of our community. That is it.
Yeah. And then one last little thing, and I brought this up and spent a little bit of time on it because we've been seeing it. It's so bad right now. The other one that is definitely a scam, they're going to tell you it's advertising or marketing, but it's not. The little messages on TikTok say, "Oh my gosh, I didn't believe it until I saw it. But I just pulled out however much money. Thank God, Anna Claudia Crypto. Thank God, this person. Thank you so much, this person. I would have never believed it unless I saw it." Guys, they are literally bots. A lot of them are just bots pushing out this message on all of our stuff to make you say, "Oh, I wonder who that is. Somebody had a great experience." No, they didn't. A bot had a great experience getting you to go click on their stuff. Please, guys, please,
Yep.
please take a breath, just relax, and look farther into things before you just jump into them. Miguel, do we have anything in the chat? Chat was kind of quiet today. Let's see. Let me touch on two. We got two of them. So Dot Chin said, "I need help on exit strategy, especially since the apps crash." So Dotchin, are you? I don't know everybody's. I don't know everybody's name. Are
She's in
you?
our academy.
She's in the academy, right?
Yep.
We will get into that specifically with you next Sunday. Make sure that you are there. We will definitely be happy to answer any questions with that. It's not that I don't want to answer it now. It's just that depending on your personal situation, everybody's exit strategy is going to look different, and
Oh
so
yeah.
we're happy to do that. Make sure that you ask about that on the next seminar on Sunday, and we'll
Yeah.
definitely
Oh, we got another good question here too.
hit it.
Singleton, how long do you think this bull cycle will run, and how soon after should we start stacking alts? Take it.
I every day that we consolidate right now makes me want to change my, not change my stance, but I feel like I'm seeing things a little bit differently. But ultimately, I'm going to stick by what I've said. I think that the end of this year is going to be the end of Bitcoin, and 30 days after, at least history says that 30 days later, 30 days from the top of Bitcoin is generally the end of the altcoin run. I don't see, even pushing things out a little bit, I don't see a scenario, me personally, I don't see a scenario where we go past March. I just can't see it. I could absolutely be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again.
Wait. You're saying that you have a slight chance that we have an extended run until March, but no further than that.
Yeah, I could see maybe Bitcoin spilling over into January, February, right? Especially with ETH 2.0 as well being the start of I guess I could see some of that spilling over. But man, past March, it would be a it would be a full change, not just a little bit of an extension. If it got past March, it would be literally taking everything that we know about the cycles and flipping it on its head.
Yeah. I also think Bitcoin is gonna top out by the end of December, and then January is gonna be the end of the altcoin season, and technically shouldn't be stacking any alts until maybe 6 to 7 months after that. Is where you're gonna kind of really see like that kind of slow curve of maybe slowly start getting some momentum again. Eventually out of the bull market, the bear market. The bear market is like 280 something days.
Yeah, it's like 289.
So something around those lines. But right, I think what's going to happen with Ethereum is Ethereum's 2.0 is going to be another signal of the bear market happening. It's going to get delayed. It's not going to launch. Ethereum 2.0 will not launch in the middle of this hype cycle with all this volume transaction. I think it's too big of a code change for Ethereum, and it just doesn't make sense to be doing that in the moment where you have the most attention on your platform. I think it's going to get delayed out, and then we're going to see Ethereum topping out. It's going to get delayed out, and then we're going to start seeing the altcoins start coming down out, not because of that news, but around the same time as that news comes out, and it's going to start deflating the altcoins market, and everything's going to start heading down. But at the same time, right, then you get this little thing in the back of your head where you're like, now you hear on the news every day, inflation. more inflation. I just saw the news with my parents before getting on here. They were
Yep.
literally talking about inflation, gas prices, turkey, chicken, everything going more higher and higher.
Yep.
So will this inflation, right? If we're talking about inflation now, if the official numbers are 6.2, you know that the unofficial numbers are extremely higher because they're not going to cause major alarm until things are drastic. So just the same way with the fog around the world, they knew the fog around the world was happening since November, October. They didn't really bring it up to mass attention until February, March, when things were completely spread out. So you know the same thing is going to happen with inflation. If they're talking about 6.2% now, think of I sometimes think about that as like if it was the beginning of the fog around the world back in January when they were telling you not to worry about it, not and then you saw a drastic shift afterwards. So what if we do have a drastic shift in inflation talk in the next couple of months? Will that create an extended bull run, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that will happen, but the possibility exists. It's small, but it's there.
Yeah.
And these people coming onto TV talking about inflation all the time, not just going to disappear tomorrow and never talk about inflation again.
Yeah.
The conversation is escalating. It went from transitory, don't worry about it, it's under control, none of this money printing affects inflation, we're good, to like, well, I think we are at the highest point of the last 30 years. A turkey last year cost you $20, now it's 50, but I still don't think it was the 40% the 40% of the US dollars that we printed in 1 year, but
yeah, no doubt, dude. It's
I
out
don't know.
of control.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy, and I don't know. It could happen. This could, like people say, right? This time is different. Maybe it is different, and it's going to be different for the wrong reasons. Maybe it's because inflation is here, right? And we're going to see something play off of that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You need to pick a side. You can't live in this like gray area of never knowing. You need to pick a side, right? And whether you win or lose, that's a side you got to stick with. So all you can really do is watch the markets, analyze what's happening as the moment arises, have a goal target, try to hit it, try to get out. If your goal doesn't get reached, stay calm and just write it back down. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. That's my plan.
It's gonna be interesting for sure. I do want to touch on one more. Toasted Monkeys asked, "What's this academy you're talking about?" And thank you, Chin, for dropping that it's posted in the description box. But just briefly, we have debatecrypto.academy. If you're on TikTok, the link is in my bio. If you're on YouTube, the link is going to be in the description below. But ultimately, to make it really easy, we are all about doing two things: educating people. Right? We educate to then help you set up a game plan for what that looks like for your portfolio. If you do the all-in package, that we do every single week. We do private seminars. It's a video seminar with myself and Miguel. Ask anything you want, talk about anything you want. We're there for you, right? Once a month, we are doing like a set topic. 1 month we did a deep dive into DeFi. 1 month we did setting up hardware wallets and wallets in general. We do a lot of educational services. And so we want to be able to do that if you are looking for that. We also have the Welcome Home package, which is $15 a month. And that's going to be the private group. We have a community of people that are working together to help basically set up game plans for the bear market, for this upcoming bear market. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of cool stuff. We're going to be doing NFTs, right? We're going to be talking about play to earn gaming, metaverse. Guys, let me just tell you in advance, when this bear market does kick in, a lot of people are they're just going to disappear. And the ones that don't disappear are going to be getting really bored. And so we don't want that for you. And there is a lot of opportunity, no matter bear market or bull market. And that's what we're about, is teaching you what those opportunities look like.
Yeah, exactly right. And that private group, $14.99, gets you not just that, but it gets you the fact that you are in a community. And if you have any question, you get stuck, right? People have done going to do a transaction and they have a few doubts here and there. You ask your question in the community, and either Nick or I will get to you. Somebody else in the community will get to you and answer your question and help you, guide you through whatever doubts you're having in that moment for a transaction, for just a project research. What's this technology? What's interoperability? What's Polkadot? Right? Kind of things like that. We'll answer your question, whether it's in a chat or it's in a video format. Sometimes Nick and I will make a full video and discuss an idea and try to, explain it as simple as possible. So all of that is with the $14.99. But I believe the all-in, even though it is more expensive, is where the true value is, because you get that 1 hour seminar where you get that FaceTime to ask any question live. And even if you don't have a solid question, there's many other people in the community that have really good questions, and you learn from them. You learn from other people asking questions and us giving you answers to those questions.
Yeah. So we appreciate each and every one of you guys. If nobody's told you before today, we love you. We really do appreciate each and every one of you. Just as a reminder, we're giving away $500 2 days before Christmas. So make sure you are subscribed to Debate Crypto. If you guys do need us, you can always email us and we will respond, right? debatecrypto@gmail.com. You can always email us there.
But we will
TikTok,
never email you first.
yeah, we'll never be reaching out to you first. That is a fact. TikTok fam, we appreciate you as well. Guys, if nobody's told you before today, again, we love you. We hope you guys have a great night. And until next time, hodl like